Touhou is, well, that's kind of the thing. I have literally no idea. Now, look, I've interacted with this series a few times over the years, mostly from just, random clips I've seen online, like this one, which sets off the whole video. Also, whatever the fuck this is. And, of course, this. But really, I have no idea what Touhou even is. I mean, it looks like some sort of anime shit to me, but it could also be, a light novel, a manga, a visual novel kind of thing. So because this, whatever it is, has fascinated me for literally years now, today is the day where I finally settle the score and uncover the truth of what the fuck and Touhou even is. But first, I hate this to you, but this video took a fat few hours to make, so if you enjoy it, do your thing. Cheers, lads. Now, because this is a video and watching a boring British dude read a wiki article for 10 minutes would probably be some of the most boring shit imaginable, I've set a few very arbitrary rules for myself. The rules mainly being no Wikipedia, no, Googling something to find a straight answer, and obviously also no ChatGPT because fuck robots. So, where do we begin? Well, first, I actually had to figure out how to pronounce the name of the series because although I'm saying it correctly now in this voiceover, back when the live action section was being recorded, I used to say it as, well, you'll see. So here's the thing, where do we start this weird exploration of this series? Well, Google Translate, believe it or not, because I have no idea how the fuck you're supposed to say this. I don't know if it's Touhou, I don't know if it's Touhou, I don't know, well, how to say it, and I need to figure it out, otherwise the 5 Touhou fans are going to be very angry. So funnily enough, Google Translate actually picked it up, and here's the moment of truth. Have I been pissing people off for the past few minutes? Yes or no? Let's take a little peek.
Touhou.
Oh god, oh Jesus, I'm gonna get my ass handed to me, aren't I? Also, don't expect me to say it correctly now that I've corrected myself, by the way. I know I get it wrong later in this video, so to the 5 Touhou fans watching this, please forgive me, I apologize. So now that that's out of the way, where did I actually begin the search? Well, my favorite site, Reddit, of course, because where else would you go for niche internet community information? And bloody hell, the Touhou subreddit it's something, alright? It's definitely a thing that exists. So yeah, literally the first post from that subreddit was marked as NSFW, and I let the decision of whether I should click on it and see what it is, and potentially get this whole video age restricted, up to a coin flip. So yeah, I'm gonna flip a coin. If the coin lands on heads, we get Touhou porn in the video. If it lands on tails, sorry lads, we're not looking at it. Amazing. Right, let's go and look. Please, don't be too bad. I don't know, just disappointing, right? I'm not sure why this is marked as NSFW. There wasn't actually any, tits flashing in your face or anything similar to that. Instead, it was whatever this cringe shit is, and this is kind of somehow worse than getting my YouTube video age restricted, to be honest with you, so Not the best introduction to the Touhou community I could have had. A very disappointing introduction. But the best part is, it was only going to get even more disappointing than that. Somehow. And also, what the hell is Touhou? Ha! I'm clicking on it.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
And yeah, after another huge disappointment and a lack of any kind of jerking, I decided to move on from the Reddit because there was no mega thread or anything obvious that stood out as a, collection of information to tell me more about the series. Except there was actually something. It was a very small little crumb of information in the form of a Reddit post with very few likes. A Reddit post that I very nearly missed, by the way, so thank God for Past Clem for actually clicking on that shit, otherwise this video would have been far longer, as if it wasn't long enough already. So now it's time to do some reading. Yay! Don't worry, by the way, I'll put like some Subway Surfers up on the side of the screen so you don't get too bored. I got you covered, lads, don't worry. Touhou is a doujin series, I don't know what the fuck doujin means, of shoot 'em ups that has become so popular among its fans that it has transcended its original genre. The big aspects of the series are, Japanese charm, difficult gameplay, or inspiring music, and an active community, which, it's a game, alright? This is not what I was expecting. Being completely honest, I was expecting some, anime, I guess. I mean, look at the fucking characters, what the fuck? And also, shoot 'em up is a bit strange to me because, well, I mean, look at the clothes. Like, what the fuck? Why shoot 'em up like guns in like medieval ass clothes? Like, what the fuck is this, man? So armed with my newfound knowledge, I headed off to the gaming marketplace known as Steam to try and acquire myself an Touhou. But the issue is, I apparently lose literally all of my brain cells when I'm recording and when I'm on camera. And well, here is a perfect real-time display of that. Now, because I didn't know what the hell a shoot 'em up or a doujin was, I went to Steam, looked up Touhou, saw the word free, didn't bother checking who made the game, or if it was an official one, or anything like that, and just straight up downloaded it, then hit play, and played the game for almost an hour. So yeah, in case it wasn't obvious, this is a fan game, and I sat there for an hour trying to complete this shit, not realizing it wasn't the vanilla Touhou experience. Smart. Well done. And the best part is, it also very much pissed me off because I had never tried to play a game like this before, and it was very, very hard, and I'm bad at games, so there was simply no way I could ever get good at it, and I wasted an hour trying, and then rage quit recording for that night, so brilliant. But I guess this is part of the Touhou experience, so what's my take on this game? Well, looking back at it now, it's alright. I like the art a lot, it's pretty cute, but I'm not going to go back and play it, to be honest. Solid game, just not for me, and it pisses me the fuck off. Naturally, my next step from here was to find an actual Touhou game, which was so much harder than you would think. Why? Well, because don't forget, earlier I set up a whole ass brain dead rule about not being able to Google stuff, and I made this portion of the video so much harder for myself for no reason, because instead of just searching what the latest Touhou game was, I had to go to every single totally legitimate and not at all pirated game site on this extensive list, and on each and every one of these sites I had to search for Touhou games and sort of, you know, mentally deduce which was an official one and which was the latest one, right? Except that it wasn't this simple either, because literally almost 0 sites on this huge list had Touhou games, and my trustworthy Fit Girl repacks, which did have a Touhou game, betrayed me. And I cannot believe I'm saying this, but this didn't work, right? Shocking, I know, but it's true. And I've never had anything like this happen to me. How could you do this to me, my queen? So yeah, obviously that didn't work. I spent a whole day trying to do that, and then another 2 days searching for Touhou games, and I was almost ready to give up. Until, holy crap, a rhythm game and a whole ass fighting game and even an RPG. This was the fucking jackpot I had been waiting for. Oh, and also I guess there's an official Touhou game, which I wasn't too excited about at this point. It was a headache trying to get it, alright? So let's start with the actual Touhou game, and starting was a whole issue within itself, but I'm not going to go into that. I mean, honestly, it's a pretty good game. I kind of fuck with it, but it is totally not what I expected in the slightest. It kind of reminds me of 1945, you know, that game you get on Nokia bricks with the fucking World War II planes shooting each other. You know what I'm on about. And frankly, I despise 1945. But this game, I like. Yeah, it's good, it's alright. The visuals are pretty solid, they're definitely a bit old-fashioned, but they're still somehow kind of pretty, I would say. Soundtrack? Mwah, chef's kiss. Genuinely, super good. Like, not quite percent levels, but pretty catchy for a game that, well, looks like this. And generally, the whole game is just a pretty nice package that I actually go back and play to this day. It's a cool game to just, you know, spend a few minutes on. Also, there's a whole story here, but I don't speak Japanese, so I have no idea what's going on here, to be honest, but there's a cat girl, so 10 out of 10. And speaking of soundtrack, now it's time to talk about literally the best game on this list. It's a rhythm game. Look, I love rhythm games, I'm gonna admit it. I fuck with Hatsune Miku Project Diva F heavily, and it is the entire reason I got a PS3, if I'm being honest. So you know, it's no wonder this is right up my alley, but still, this is shockingly good. I expected something worse than this, if I'm being honest. However, it does get a few points docked from it because it blasted my ears off when I first launched it, which was not very pleasant.
Fuck! Why is it always so loud?
Also, after the ear rape, there's a whole thing of text for the story, which I 100% totally watched. But the real nice part comes just after this, because you're hit with this. brilliant, right? I don't even need to say anything more. This is sick. It sounds sick. Also, the gameplay is pretty good. I enjoyed it quite a lot, but there aren't any latency settings, which is a bit wacky. And also it runs like actual dog shit when you're trying to record it, but that also could be my PC because, well. Now, next up is the RPG game. I don't fuck with it. It's good. It's an alright game. It's just not for me, to be honest. I can tell that a lot of effort went into the artwork of this game, and the story is definitely more fleshed out than any of the other games here. It also has some really, really smooth, nice 3D animation on everyone except from this fucking guy here. But honestly, I'm not gonna go back and play this one. Like, it's okay. It's the only one that supports a controller, but not my thing, really. You know. Oh, I did also mention a fighting game earlier. I don't know what to say about it. It spoke to me in an alien language, and I had no clue what was going on, so 0 out of 10, I guess. So to answer my own question and investigation, what is Touhou? Well, I kind of think there's sort of two different Touhous, right? There's Touhou Project, which is an actual Touhou game, right? You know, the 1945 Catgirls Undertale shooty bang bang gun gameplay. And I can see why that in itself would generate a pretty big fan base. However, I feel like the main portion of the fan base is here for Touhou the entity. And by entity, I mean stuff surrounding the actual Touhou games, like, you know, the fan games I've looked at, or the other media which I didn't look at because I'm lazy, like, you know, the fucking animations, songs, whatever the hell else is this. I mean, sure, technically Touhou is this, but most fans of Touhou would probably say they're fans of this rather than, you know, the regular games. And to be honest with you guys, I am also in that group. Like, I absolutely went back and played this rhythm game about 10 times, and it's good. I really fuck with it, and holy crap, that first song, like, wow. Anyway, enough yapping. Pretty much, here is your answer. Touhou Project, this. Touhou, everything else, this. Two different answers. And also, this kind of means that there isn't really a specific answer to my question, which does kind of mean that I may or may not have wasted 10 minutes of your time. Well, at least it was fun. Right, guys? Please don't unsubscribe. I really need this, alright? My mom's kind of homeless. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. It was a very, very different one and a completely different style of video to the ones I usually do, but I just felt like making it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. You know, the usual deal, like and subscribe. Bye-bye, bro fist lads, whatever the fuck he says.